Brian. Oh, Brian, where have you been? Come in. I called the airport. They told me your plane had come in on time, but I've been waiting and waiting. The least you could have done was called me.
Well, I would have been glad to, but I was waylaid.
You were what?
Yes, a car and a driver picked me up at the airport and drove me to the World Building downtown before I even knew where I was going.
Oh, you've seen Alex then?
Yes. Is that fresh coffee?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, here, let me. And, what did you two talk about?
Sugar, please. Thank you. We talked about you. He's quite frank, isn't he?
What did he say?
Well, it was what he almost said that was so interesting. I think he was about to offer me a bribe. Although, now that I think of it, it might have been a threat. I'm not sure. To conclude the divorce proceedings as rapidly as possible.
Oh, dear. And what did you tell him, Brian?
The truth. Well, what did you expect me to say? That I was foregoing the divorce for some reason?
No, of course not. It just makes things so awkward now, though, because he knows I lied. Oh, Brian, what will he think?
Oh, Iris, why do you always ask that question afterwards? Well, I suppose it'll depend on how you explain why you lied. Why did you lie to him, Iris? What are you hiding?
What makes you think I was hiding anything?
Oh, I know you. And I think you owe me an explanation, too. Now, why did you tell Alex you were having difficulties with the divorce?
Because I am having difficulties, but with something else. And I do need your help, especially now that Alex knows I lied.
Iris, sometime in your life, you're going to have to stop lying and hiding and then asking for help. Now, why don't you just tell the man the truth, whatever it is, and damn the consequences?
Because he wouldn't understand.
Wheeler seemed intelligent enough to me.
He's also demanding and in a hurry. He can't understand my hesitating at all. He thinks 25 years can just be forgotten in a moment.
Why can't they be?
Because there is a very tangible product of those 25 years. I can't even tell you.
Oh, Iris. Iris, dear, dear baby. We've been through so much together, haven't we? Well, the passion's spent. The friendship still remains. And you know I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
So let me help you, whatever it is. Now, why don't you just be brave and say it right out?
Because I can't.
Well, then, I suppose there's no point in my staying here.
No, Brian, don't leave me. I'm desperate, and I don't have anyone else to turn to.
You could turn to Alex.
No, I can't tell him. Please help me.
I'm trying to. But so far, all I've gathered is there's something Alex doesn't know, and whatever it is, it's keeping you apart.
That's true.
Well, what is it?
It's Dennis.
Dennis? You mean Alex doesn't know you have a son?
No, he knows Dennis is my son. What he doesn't know is that Dennis is his son, too.
You mean Alex is really Dennis's father? All these years. Well, who else knows about this?
No one. Not a soul.
You mean Mac doesn't know?
No. I met Alex in Europe while I was in school there during a vacation on the Mediterranean. Don't let anyone tell you that a whole life can't be changed in an instant, Brian. I met Alex and fell in love for the first and probably the only time in my life. 3 days. And I gave myself to him and to loving, wholly, utterly, completely. And when he left, I discovered I was pregnant.
What did you do then?
What could I do? Elliot had been following me around Europe like a puppy dog, begging for some attention from me, so I called him. And when he asked me again to marry him, I did. And I never told Mac or Elliot or Dennis or anyone that Dennis is really Alex's son. Why should I? I never told anyone about Alex either.
And you've kept that secret all these years?
All these years.
Well, that explains a lot of things, you know.
Does it?
Why you've never been able to rest. Why you always assume the worst of others. Assume that they're hiding something too. That explains a great deal about the past.
Well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I can't worry about the past now. It's the present and the future that are troubling me.
Well, I don't understand why you don't make it simple. Just tell them who they are to one another and hope for the best. There is a good side, you know.
Oh, of course there is. Why, if Alex and I do marry, it would be so much easier for Dennis to accept him, knowing that Alex is really his father. And then let's face it, Alex is so wealthy and powerful. Dennis's future would be assured once Alex knew he was his son. Do you think that's terrible of me to think?
No. I understand. Well, everything you've said sounds pretty good.
But I've only told you the good parts.
Well, tell me the bad ones.
Well, Dennis would find out that he wasn't who he thought he was, that his father isn't his father, that he's a bastard.
Oh, I'm sure Dennis would be upset at first, but he's sensible, Iris. He'd get over it in time.
No, he wouldn't. Oh, I take that back. He would get over it, but how mutilated inside, what sort of scars.
Well, you may be right. I just don't like subterfuge. But it may be warranted in this case. Maybe you could marry Alex and let him and Dennis gradually get to know each other. Then tell them both later, when they've grown to like each other.
If only that were possible.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Dennis and Alex haven't met.
Oh, Iris, there you go again, imagining the worst. I mean, taking steps to counterbalance something that might not even happen. Worrying about how they'll react when they haven't even met each other yet? Well, why haven't they met?
Because Dennis doesn't want to meet Alex.
Why not, Iris, if he doesn't even know the man?
Oh, Dennis is in love with... Well, he cares very much for, at any rate, a girl he met here. And because she and her family blame Alex for her father's death, so does Dennis. Don't you see? Because of Don Marshall, Dennis hates Alex already. He hates his own father.